Now I got my shower tiled. I got the little guys all in there. I'll give you some details on that. I just cleaned the floor, and I need to get a little bit of the grout out of some of the smaller areas. I mean, not the grout, but the mastic, so the grout will go in. So I'll give you a little close-up real quick. I got the floor cleaned. You can see the little llama. Little llama. But I got all the particles off the floor. And then I got my wall. The window wasn't as even as I wanted it to be for those tiles, so that's okay. I piecemealed it in a little bit. You can see all the half tiles I cut for this top strip. But now I'm going to be mixing the grout. On the inside of the penny tiles, I got sanded grout because, as you can see, this is from 1/8 to 1/2 inches for grout joints. Now, in the penny tile, definitely have some decent sized holes up in here. So it's not like the subway tile. For instance, look at this. It's a small grout line. This is a much bigger hole. So I got the sanded grout for the inside of the shower. I got unsanded grout for the outside walls. I got a charcoal color here to match with my black tile. So let's turn it over. Let's see the instructions for doing this bad boy. Okay. Clean grout lines. This one. You gotta clean the grout lines. You have to add cool water. 2 quarts. Oh yeah, so you gotta do 2 quarts of water for every 25-pound bag. And I'm not gonna mix this whole bag at once. So I'm gonna measure my water out and do separate installations of this. So then you add your water, then you stir it for 5 minutes. But then after you're done stirring for 5 minutes, you have to wait 10 minutes. Then you have to stir it again, and then you're ready to go. So I'll keep clearing grout lines, and I'm gonna mix this first batch up. So if we got 2 quarts for 25-pound bag, that means if we did half the bag, we'd need 1 quart. If we did a quarter of the bag, we'd need half a quart. Now I went to Home Depot and I got these guys. 1 quart. And it also gives you the other measurements. And then this bigger one is 2.5 quarts. So it tells you on here how much is everything. So I want to be as accurate as I can with the water measurements to get this grout right. So let's cut into the bag and see what we got. My trusty Husky work knife. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in here and add 1/2 quart of water, and I'm gonna start mixing it up and see how much product I need. All right, so I have 1/2 quart of water right there. If you can see that water line. I'm gonna grab a little putty knife and a mixer, and I'm gonna get to work. So 1/2 quart should be a quarter of the bag. So I'll just start adding a whole bunch and start mixing. I'm gonna let you guys in on the mixing. So I have to mix this for 5 minutes. I'm probably gonna fill this whole container up. to get it to be the right consistency. So it really doesn't need that much water. You need to be sparing with the water that you use. You can see I put plastic on the ground too, just to be safe and clean with my new floors. All right, now we're kind of getting into a consistency here. It's definitely feeling a lot better. I want to try to push these bubbles out. That's just dry in there. I'm going to put a little bit more. I'm not that ambidextrous. All right, yeah, that's feeling nice. Yeah, it's a good consistency. So we gotta mix it for 5 minutes and I gotta wait 10 minutes. And then I gotta mix it again and then I'm ready to go. All right, I've mixed it for 5 minutes and look at this. Look how creamy and beautiful this is. Don't see any lumps. Looks really smooth. Scrape the edges a few times just to get everything off the edges and scrape the bottom. And yeah. So looks like a good consistency. So now I gotta wait 10 minutes. I wanna come back, give it one more stir. And then we're gonna be ready to apply. And we'll see how good I did. I'm gonna put on some gloves because this grout business is messy. And if you have a girlfriend, she's gonna make you wear gloves because you get it all underneath your fingernails and it's just like working on a car. But if you're single, do whatever you want. Although it's way better on your hands if you're wearing gloves. Should have got bigger ones. These ones are pretty small. There we go. The things that should be the simplest. I'm going to use my brand new gum rubber grout float from Home Depot. Oh yeah, here we go. Now she's setting up. All right. So what I'm going to do is just glob a little bit on. And I'm just going to start pushing it around. I'm just pushing it into all these little grooves. I actually really should be starting with the wall, because I'm not supposed to be walking on this. It's actually a little bit runny. I think I need a little bit more grout in order to put it on the wall. I'm going to make it a little bit more sandy so I can get that stuff to stick to the wall. This is probably how I should have had it for the floor anyway, but I guess we'll see what happens. You only want to do an area that you can complete in 30 minutes or less, because then the grout's pretty much had its lifespan. Push hard so you can really fill in all those gaps with grout, because this has cement in it. This will also help the tile stay rigid if you do it right. And that is batch 1. That's the end of the first round. Gotta mix me up some more grout. But before I do that, reference the back, 10 to 20 minutes. And then I start washing it off with the rag. I'll lightly take off the first coat with a rag, and then I gotta wait 2 hours before I actually give it a scrub. So I'll start mixing some more grout here. Finish that wall. I'm actually gonna need quite a bit more. I should just mix this whole thing in the big bucket. I'm gonna mix up the whole bag, the rest of the bag in here. I've already used half a quart of water, so I needed 2 quarts total for the whole bag. So I'm gonna do 1.5 quarts of water in this bucket. So I filled up this bucket because it was quicker outside. So I'll just pour and then I'll fill up one of these just in case I have to add a little bit more water. Okay, now I'm going to pour my bag of grout in here. Carefully. I'm going to start adding some water and stirring. I'm probably going to need a little bit more. Since I have gloves on here, I'm going to try to make this easier. Getting all that dry stuff on the bottom, putting it on the top. It's definitely like a kind of a mud consistency now. I'm going to try to give it a little bit more. Let's see what I get. Still got some dry stuff in there. I'm gonna put a little bit more. I still got some dry stuff in there at the bottom. Slowly mix that in. Way easier with my hand than that wooden mixing spoon. They also have drills. You could use a drill with a bit on it. It's a mixer bit. I actually have one of those. Could be doing that. But sometimes it's nice to work with your hands. Yeah, I think this is a nice consistency. I think it'll stick to the wall. So I gotta let this set up now for 10 minutes. Then I can come back, grout the wall. Look at that. Boom, clean, uh-oh. Oh yeah, little rag. Oh yeah, see? Gets in those fingernails pretty good. All right, it's been 20 minutes. I got my 3-pack of all-purpose sponges here. So I'm gonna take one of these bad boys and I'm gonna start giving it a light wash off the grout that I just put on. Man, should have got a bigger bucket for this job. Yeah, I gotta figure out a better way to do this. Well, I took off my gloves, failed to put them back on. Defeats the purpose. Nice. Oh, it's pretty hard. Might need to add a little bit of water. All right, there we go. Oh yeah. Now I'm going to be picking up that trowel with this hand, and I just got it really dirty. I don't want to get my trowel handle that dirty. All right, now I'm going to finish grouting up the floor here. I have a lot of stuff that fell from when I was doing the wall. So I'm going to gather all that up with my hands. I'm going to smooth down here a little bit more too. You don't really want to add any more water because it'll weaken it. So I'm just mixing it up, and then I'm going to use the float, finish it off. It is getting a little harder to work with now. It's been a little while since I mixed it. This is why you want to only mix as much as you can use within 30 minutes. I think this job has taken me a little longer than 30 minutes though. Well, I just had a tile come up. Hopefully, the grout will just keep it down. All right, I think I got my first coat done. See how much of the glove I broke. Not too bad. Not bad at all. I got my shower grouted. Well, just the back wall. Now I'm gonna have to do the subway tiles, but basically it was a nice little job, but it's gonna look pretty good. Even though the pads were separated there on the floor, I think it still ties it in really nice. Especially once I clean it off and it's nice and glossy. The back wall, that's what it looks like, first coat of grout. Actually the only coat of grout. Now all I gotta do is wipe it off. That's where my corner got a little funky, but as you can see, it's gonna hide it nicely with the grout. All right, so now I'm gonna wait 2 hours and I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna clean that off using a damp rag. I think those rags work a little bit better than those sponges because the sponges get full pretty quick. So I could just probably throw away a lot of rags or go wash them outside instead of using those sponges. But I think I'm gonna go try to make something with the extra grout that I have.